Hello, I wanted to show you my custom-made, home-built kayak trailer. It started off life as a 5x8 basic flatbed utility trailer. I cut off the gate on the back, and then from there I designed uprights that bolt onto the trailer. They can be removed. There's a top shelf, which is just about the same height as your garage door, slightly lower so it fits inside the garage. There's a middle shelf there, and there's also room for kayaks standing on their side on the bottom. I used 2-inch square steel tubing for most of the components, the crossbars and the uprights, and this diagonal here, the hooks of the tongue. And I used 1.5-inch square steel tubing for the corner gussets. 1.5-inch works a little better because that way you got a better surface to weld against. And it is removable. There's bolts here that hold the uprights to the top rail of the trailer. There's a diagonal piece that bolts onto the tongue, and then there's a front to back piece that hooks the two uprights together. All can be unbolted and removed by one person. This is a mesh bottom on this trailer, so I put a plywood deck on there, and it's covered in indoor-outdoor carpet. On the back, that's just a little small board, just so it doesn't wear on the carpet too bad if you have to slide the boats in and out. And I also put a kind of a front rail, I guess, on the trailer. It bolts down to the frame. These short ropes and carabiners here are designed for holding the boats that are on the bottom shelf. All I do is I just hook it on or through or around, however it works, for the handle on the front of the boat. And the boats all lean on their left side, resting against this side rail here. And because of the way I load kayaks, the spare tire works fine sitting down on here. You'll see later when I load it up. I just took some cleats and attached them to the trailer, and the tire sits there held down with rubber straps. On the right side of the trailer, I made a box to hold all the paddles. I made it out of wood because I could, and I didn't have the ability to make it out of metal. But all the paddles fit in here. It's held on by U-bolts onto the upright, and also I was done welding by the time I got to this, but I used the slotted angle iron to make brackets to hold the paddle box so they bear all the weight. I took the basic trailer and I removed the original tongue, which was 4 feet long, and I replaced it with the 6-foot long tongue. It doesn't make the trailer very long. It actually backs up a lot easier then too. But the primary reason is that way the boats that are on the trailer won't interfere with the boats that are on top of the truck on a ladder rack. I put on a new 2-inch coupler, swing away trailer jack, and safety chains. The pool noodles aren't the greatest thing ever, but it's just something quick I put together. I just took pool noodle and zip tied it to the top of the crossbars for the middle shelf. I almost never use the top shelf, but when I do, I have your basic standalone foam pieces. I'm going to put a canoe up there pretty soon. The diagonal gussets have two purposes. One is to maintain some lateral strength so the uprights don't flex side to side. I have them on top and bottom of the upright in the center, and at the top of these on the edge. And also it's a good place for the straps to go through. That way your straps don't slip off the end of the bar. Didn't want to put a diagonal on the top, so I just have a bolt sticking out the bottom. And then I finished off the whole thing with plastic end caps that fit the square steel tubing. The middle shelf is designed to work a lot like a stacker. So you can see there's a hole up there that works like the top of the stacker, and then you can go underneath the the crossbar there with your straps. Also, you can use it just like a normal crossbar. I got my tandem on there right now. You can see the strap goes through there, loops up and around and over, and then goes through over here. Loading a canoe works pretty well. Last night I picked up this canoe from a friend and drove it home in 25-mile-per-hour winds without any issues. As long as you attach your bow and stern ropes, everything seems to go pretty well. Here's how I load kayaks on the middle shelf, stacker style. Placing them on the shelf from the side seems to work the easiest. I like to put the strap through the upper attachment point prior to putting the boat in position. Then you run the strap underneath the crossbar and hook it to itself. Snug it up. That's a 10-foot recreational boat, pretty wide, so that one fits just about anything well. Then you can just keep repeating for additional boats. 3 fit easily on this middle shelf on either side. Here's how I load 4 kayaks on the bottom. I start by laying the first one on its left side against the left upright. For these ropes against the front rail, I have a loop on one side and a carabiner on the other side so I can handle any kind of front handle. Here's all 4 on the bottom shelf. All 4 handles are clipped onto the front rail. And there's a million ways you could do it from here. I just have a rope going from the bottom, around all kayaks, up to the upright here, and then I use a trucker's hitch to pull them tight. That pulls them all snug against the left side of the trailer. Then to complete, there's another rope that goes underneath, under the boats, up and over, and ties to the uprights, and that holds them all over to the left. Here's all 4 loaded on the bottom. They're all tied to the left and they're all attached to the front so they won't come out, and the ropes basically just keep them from bouncing around so much. It's no worse than a pickup though, probably. Even with recreational boats, they don't contact each other between the bottom and the top and the middle. Okay, we're all loaded up. Have a canoe upside down on the top rack. Also have another kayak belly deck down on the top rack. A tandem fits on the middle, and there's a pungo. Just happens to fit really nice on top of there. 3 land on the side, stacker style on the middle here. 4 across the bottom. And finally, we have 3 boats up on top the stacker on the ladder rack on the truck. And as you can see, there's really no danger of them contacting the boats that are on top of the trailer, even when I have a canoe up there. That's all.